While Uganda boasts of some of the best environmental protection and conservation laws, a closer look at the importation, production and use of plastics reveals a different story. The country struggles with inadequate plastic waste disposal systems, yet it produces approximately 600 tons of plastic waste daily.
I think only 40% of this waste is collected, and more than 60% ends up into our environment, such as trenches, the rivers, the waters, and farms, and everything in our environment in unnecessary places. And we think it's necessary that we come together and reinforce policies and regulations around plastic and plastic pollution and plastic material management.
Experts criticize the government for its failure to enforce regulations on plastic management.
I know one of them is that people have said the manufacture, importation, and the exportation is single, or plastics generally provide employment.
Technically, the technicians or the technocrats have already shown that plastics are harmful, and indeed the legal regimes that are required to address the management of plastics are in place. But whenever an effort is made to stop plastics, then the politicians come out and say, look, you are affecting our manufacturers. I think our manufacturers can do better when they do things that do not affect the communities, when they do things that do not in any way degrade our environment.
To address this issue, they are calling for stricter controls on plastics within the country.
The best alternative is for government to avail some capital to some of these companies that are ready to shift to production of the required grammage, to production of plastics that can be multi-purpose or can be reused and used, other than producing plastics for single use.
And then number two, we think also very strongly that we need to invest more in recycling.
This call to action emerged during a stakeholders meeting on the progress of the ongoing Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee working to develop an internationally legally binding instrument on plastic pollution. Geoffrey Kamese, the Executive Director of Biovision Africa, explains that once finalized, the plastic treaty will foster collective efforts in managing the importation, production and use of plastics.
It's not about ban. It's also about regulating what is being produced, how best can it be used, and why shouldn't it be used in different circumstances. So that is what we're talking about. I think when we have a legally binding document, the government that will append its signatures, or governments, will go back home and domesticate that law.
Recent incidents, such as the Kitezi waste management crisis, highlight the urgent need for better waste management measures. Nevertheless, ongoing engagements offer hope for finding effective solutions. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.